Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I will guide you through a comprehensive guide on getting started with AutoCAD. This tutorial is designed for absolute beginners with no AutoCAD experience. We will walk through the basics of the software, from navigating through the interface to creating and modifying simple drawings. For me, I'm using AutoCAD 21. If you're using the latest versions or an older version, the procedures will still be the same. So number one, you have to make sure that you have that AutoCAD software installed on your computer. Number two, we are going to start a new drawing. So before we start, there are some terminologies you have to know. Number one, this icon here to start a new drawing. This option will take you direct to an interface where you are going to start your drawing. And the second option here is for templates. So this template here contains a number of preset drawing files that enables you to start a new drawing. So for today's tutorial, we are going to focus on these two templates, which AutoCAD and then AutoCAD ISO. This AutoCAD, it is preset with the imperial system of measurements, and then this AutoCAD ISO, it is preset with the metric system of measurements. So for imperial, it comprises of feet and inches, and for metric, it comprises of millimeters, centimeters, and then meters. So and the third option here is for open files. This open file option, it enables you to open the projects that you have done, the ones that you have, the project you have saved in your computer. It will enable you to locate them. Like for example, let me try to open one of them, and then from this here you can locate where you have saved that file, and then you open it. And then this one here is the recent documents. So this recent documents, it shows what you have previously done. So for your case, if you are not seeing any file here, that means you have not done any drawing. But for my case, I've done some drawing, that's why they are appearing here. So from here, let's go back to the template, and then let's choose the AutoCAD ISO template. So from here, what you have to do, let me first cancel this one. There's what we call the application menu. So this application menu, it provides access to the program settings and drawing utilities. So the program settings includes like maybe you wanted to create a new drawing, and then you want to open, like I've explained before, and then this save option will enable you to save what you have done, and then save as, it will enable you to save your drawing into various formats. And then this import, it will enable you to import other formats like a PDF format to your drawing file. And export, it also enables you to export your drawing into various formats, PDF, 3D, and other formats. Publish, it enables you to like to share your drawing into a 3D print service, and then maybe to email. And then this print, it enables you to convert your drawing into a PDF format and some other formats. And then this drawing utilities, it includes Okay, basically what you are going to do here is the units. This one, it controls the coordinate and then the angle, display, formats, and precision. So already this is the first thing. You go to the project menu and then drawing utilities and then units. From here, like because our template is the AutoCAD ISO template, it is already preset with the metric system. So metric, it starts with the millimeters. So it is already set with millimeters, but it's a good practice for you to confirm which unit you're going to use. And precision, I like to use 2 decimal place. If you're comfortable with 4 decimal place, it's fine. And then, okay. So now you see this pickup box, the one on my casa. Mine is a little bit big. So if you, for your case, if you open in AutoCAD for the first time, it is going to appear smaller than this one. So you go to the application menu option, and then you go to selection, and then you come to pickup box size, and then for your case it will be here, very small like this, and then you can just increase it. You can increase it up to maybe here, it's fine, and then apply. Okay. Once you are done, then the other thing here is this area here. This area is called the what? The ribbon bar. This ribbon bar, it includes the various drawing tools and the commands organized by tabs. So they are being organized by tabs. So for example, under the drawing tools, these are the basic drawing tools. You can find lines and polylines, cycle, arcs, and then a rectangle. This is an ellipse, and then this is a hatch. So these are the basic drawing tools. Also, modifying tools are here, annotation tools are here. So this is basically the ribbon. And then another thing here is the command line. This command line, it is at the bottom. It allows you to type specific commands for actions. So, for example, if you don't want to use this drawing, this ribbon, you can, if you need a line, you can type a line. You can type line L. The shortcut key is L, or you can just type the full name of that tool, which is the line, and then you come and click it. By this way, you have already activated the line without going to the ribbon. You press escape for you to come out from any command on your screen, or you press enter. And then from that, so there's another thing here. You go to customization, and then you make sure you tick the line weight, and then for your case, sometimes this dynamic input will not be ticked, and then you also tick it. And then this dynamic usage you also tick. Then the rest you can leave them the way they are. If you don't need to use the grids, you can turn off by clicking at this icon here. You turn off the grids, and then you turn on and off like that. And then you turn this orthogonal mode on. So what it does, it enables you to restrict the movement of your cursor orthogonally. What I mean by orthogonally, like for example, let me turn it on, and then let me choose a lines tool, and then let me click at any point on the screen, and then, so this is the meaning of orthogonally. When it is off, you see, it gives you the freedom to move the cursor at any direction that you wanted. But if it is on, it is only 90 degrees and then 180 degrees. So sometimes it should be on, sometimes it should be off. So from that, and then there's another one here to restrict cursor to specified angles. So what this icon does, if you turn it on and then you come to this drop down arrow, you can restrict the movement of your cursor to specific angles. For example, 45, 90, 135, or maybe the group of 30, 60, 90. For example, let me use this one for 30, 60, 90, 120. So if I click line, select line, then you see now this is what 30, and then this is 60, and then this is 90, and then 120. You see, this is the option for restrict cursor to specified angles. You press escape to come out from this command like that. So another thing here is this snapping snapping reference line. This snapping reference line should be on. And then another one here is the object snap. This object snap must be on because it enables you to snap at various points on your drawing file. So you come to this drop down arrow and make sure that this midpoint is tick, center is tick, geometric center is tick. You tick them up to tangent is tick, and then you leave this one, and then you tick the two also. And then you go to object snap settings. And then we go to the dynamic input, and then make sure that this option here is tick, enable pointer input is tick, and then enable dimensions input where possible is tick also. And then okay, it's very important. And then the other thing here you have to consider, it is the line weight. So line weight should be on because it reveals the true line weight of what you are drawing actually. And then another thing here is the add scale to annotative objects should be on. And then the scales, you can choose the scale that you want to use, but if it is just for a small project, you can just use scale of 1 to 1. But if it's a big project, use either 1 into 50 or 1 into 100. This is the order that I recommend. But at most cases, the scale of 1 into 100 is the most preferred scale. And then this one here, for your case, you'll not be able to see this label. This is a workspace label. So under this gear icon, you click on it, and then you take this option to display workspace label. So here for my case here, I'm using the drafting and annotation workspace. This drafting and annotation workspace label, this is just for two-dimensional work and then documentation work, which is the annotation. Annotation, it includes text and then the what dimensions. So once you are done, then now this workspace here, this one is called the model space. So this is where you're going to model. If you want to model in terms of 2D or in terms of 3D. But basically now, because we have chosen to use the drafting, this is basically a two-dimensional workspace. So now let's start by using the line tool. So go to line. So now it is telling us to specify first point. So the first point you can just choose anywhere on the screen. So you can maybe decide to use this point like this. This is the first point, and then AutoCAD is telling you specify the what? Next point. Next point. This one you can put a distance. You can maybe a distance of 500 millimeters, and then for you to for this distance to work, you have to press enter for it to accept like that, and then you give it the direction. See, this is 90 degrees, and then maybe you give it 500 again, enter, and then you give it a direction here like that. Again 500, enter, and then you come and close it here. You close it on the endpoint, and then once you're done from there, you press enter for you to come out from that command. If you want to go back to that same command, the previous command, which is the line, you press enter again. Again, you start this time, and then you just like that, is it? Like that. This is how line command works. So this line, it is simply comprises of 2 points, point A and then point B, only 2 points. This is the line. But there's the press escape, another tool called the polyline. This polyline is actually a line that comprises of more than 3 points. So you click the polyline, and then AutoCAD is telling you, you specify start point. This is your start point, and then you give it a distance and direction. First, you give it the direction. Once you are done, you are comfortable with the direction, and then you key in the distance like that, and then press enter to accept, and then you give it the direction, and then you give it the distance, maybe 500, enter like that, and then the same case here, you can give it the direction here like that. Once you are done, you press enter to come out from that command, and then you select it. You see now it is what, more than 2 points. It is like a continuous line. But if you come to the line, you see only what, only 2 points. Then press escape. Another one, basic tool is the cycle. This cycle, you have there are some various methods of how we can draw a cycle. For example, the two basic methods of drawing a cycle is drawing using the cycle using a radius method, and then another one, it is the diameter method. So the radius method, you can click on it, and then AutoCAD is telling you, specify the center point of the for the cycle, and then you specify it maybe somewhere here, and then AutoCAD is telling you now, you specify the radius of the cycle, maybe a radius of 100 millimeters, and then enter. This is the radius method, and then the other method is the center diameter method. So that one, you can specify the center point for the cycle, and then you give it the diameter. The diameter, now here we have used the radius of 100. That means our diameter is what? 200, like that. And then another tool here is the arc tool. So it is just enable you to create an arc. So also it has various methods, but for today's tutorial we are going to stick on 2 methods only: the 3-point method, and then the start, center, end method. Let's start with the 3-point method. So this one, you can just start the first, you specify the start point here, and then the second point you can give it here, and then the third point, it is here. You see? And then the start, center, end method, then maybe specify the start point of the arc. This is your start point. And then specify the center point of the arc is here. And then now this is the end, you see? Like that. And then another basic tool is the rectangle tool. So you activate it, you click it, and then AutoCAD is telling you specify the first corner. This is the first corner, like that. And then you give it a direction. You always don't forget, you first click and then give it a direction, and then from the direction, and then you key in the distance. So for example, I need my rectangle to be 500. So the first dimension you're going to input is the the length. And then if you want to jump to the width, you press either the tab key on your keyboard, or you press the comma key on your keyboard. Then comma also 500, and then enter, like that. You see now it is 500 by 500. Another tool here is the ellipse. Ellipse is also just like almost like a cycle, but it has different radius on each side. So also there's some methods of drawing that ellipse by using the center. This is the easiest method of drawing an ellipse. So specify the center. Let me say this is my center, like this. So AutoCAD is telling us to specify the distance to the other axis, Maybe let me just give it 150, enter. You see, this one is an ellipse, but still you can also modify it. Like if you are not comfortable with this result, you can modify it this way. This is what we call a what? An ellipse, like that. You can modify it in this way. So another one is the what? Is the hatch. So the hatch, you can come to this drop down arrow. There's a hatch, and then there's another gradient hatch, and then there's a boundary. But for today's tutorial, we're going to stick with using the hatch only. So you activate the hatch, and then this window will pop up, and then from here you can choose the hatch pattern of your choice. Like for example, let me choose this hatch pattern like this, and then make sure that this pick points option is selected, and then you can come and pick the points here like this. Then if you are not comfortable with the scale, you can just increase maybe or increase or decrease the scale. This is a scale of 1. Maybe let me use a scale of 10. Enter, and then like this. So this is a scale of 10. If you are not comfortable, you can just increase or decrease it. Depends on your preference. You click. Once you are done, and then come and close the hatch creation. This is how hatch works. There are many patterns you can choose. There's a solid hatch. There's another patterns you can choose. Depends on your preference. So, for example, now let's come to this modifying tab. This one it enables you to change the position of an object, or maybe to increase its size, and a lot of other tools. So modify, you go to, maybe you want to move something. You first select what you want to move. For example, you select the whole of this one like this, and then move. Now AutoCAD is telling you specify the base point. So this one simply means is the starting point where you want to move that object from. Maybe my starting point is the center. Maybe the center, or maybe the quadrant here like this, and then from the quadrant up to this one here, up to this end point here is perpendicularly like that. And then copy is also you want to copy. Maybe you want to create a copy of this object. So you select copy, and then maybe you copy from this quadrant, and then you come and snap here, and then you come down like this. So this is how copy works. So you can either give it if you know the distance, you can give it a distance. But for this one, I'm just doing it visually like that. You see, this is how copy works. And then you press enter or escape to come out from this command like that. And then another one is the stretch. So the stretch simply enables you to expand a part of a line or an object. So for the stretch to work efficiently, you have to do a selection. So you start from the right to left. So you click once, and then you select up to the half, approximately the half of that object like this, and then go to stretch. So you specify best point. This is your best point, and then you give it the direction. You see, maybe this way. So this is how stretch works. You see, if you want orthogonally, you can just restrict the movement of the cursor to be orthogonally instead of those other angles. Maybe like this. This is orthogonally. You can either bring it back or bring it upwards. You see, this a stretch, and then rotate. You can select. Maybe let me select the whole of this thing. You click, and then you activate the rotate command, and then you specify the base point. Because we have selected the orthogonal mode, it is only allowing us to rotate it either vertically or horizontally like that. So this is how rotate works. Another one is the mirror. It enables you to create a copy of an object in an opposite direction. So you select what you want to copy, to mirror, and then activate the mirror. You specify the first line is from here, and then because since we are using the orthogonal mode, you just drag it straight upwards like this, and then erase source object. If you want to erase the source object, you can click yes. If you don't want to erase this one, you click no, like that. And then another one is now the scale. It enables you to either decrease the size of an object or increase its size. So you can maybe select the whole of this one like this, and then select this one. So you come to scale, then the base point maybe here, and then you see you can now specify the scale factor, or you can just do it visually like this. So this is how a scale works. And then another one is the trim. This is just a tool that enables you to delete a part of an object. So trim, you activate the trim. Stupid. Why is my AutoCAD crashing? Just stop. Today I don't know what is the issue. No, it's my mouse that is disturbing, not the AutoCAD. Now I'm stuck in trim. Yeah. Now for trim, it enables you to delete a part of an object. So you go to trim and then select object to trim, and then you trim like this. So this is how trim works. It only deletes that part of that object that has two boundaries. That has a boundary. Like for example, let me go back Control Z. You see now this one it has a boundary here. So let me go to trim. Like this one now, it has a boundary. So you just trim it like this, like that. You see? These ones are the two boundaries. Then you trim like that. And then another one is the fillet. So this fillet is enable you to create uh, a round edge at whatever you are basically drawing. So you go to fillet, and then you choose the first. Now AutoCAD is telling us select the first line, the first object. This is the first object, and then for now you go to the. Now AutoCAD is telling you select second object, but this one let's choose the radius first, because by default it is coming with a 0 radius. So let's give it a radius, and then maybe a radius of 100 millimeters. Then enter, and then now AutoCAD is telling us to select the second object. Now select the second object like this. So this is how fillet works. Another tool is also chamfer. Chamfer, it enables you to create a straight edge at the corner of what or wherever you are drawing, and then come to this drop down arrow, go to chamfer, and then AutoCAD is telling you select the first line. This is the first line, and then again you can give it before selecting the second line. You come to the distance option, and then you give it a distance of say 200, and then now AutoCAD is telling you if specified the second chamfer distance also the same 200. You press enter, and then you select the second line. You see? And then enter, escape. So this is a chamfer. No. So this is the fillet, and this is the chamfer, like that. So another tool here is the array. It enables you to create multiple copies of that object you wanted to create dynamically. So you go to you first select what you wanted to multiply, and then under the array tool there's different types of array, but for today we are going to stick using the rectangular array. You activate it, so this menu will pop up. From here, the number of columns you can decide to use the number. Now the number of columns there are 4. Maybe if you need one column, maybe one column like that. Press enter. This is one column, and then radius. The rows are 3. Maybe also you can leave it, or maybe you increase it 5 5 rows, you see. And then once you are done, maybe columns 2, 3, 3. So once you are done, you press, you come to this option to close the array. So it's still here, you can still multiply it like by using this grip here. You see, you can drag it this way, and then you can also drag it vertically this way. So this is how array works. Now here, if you maybe you can move, and then this point you can just move it somewhere here. And then another one is the offset tool. So the offset it is almost like a what is the advanced version of a copy tool. So it enables you to create a copy of an object at a specific distance. So maybe you can start selecting what you want to offset, and then you go to offset, then specify the offset distance. Can give it maybe distance of 100 millimeters. Then you press enter, and then you give it the direction in or out. You see, like that. So this is how offset works. And then press escape. Another one. Now we are coming to the annotation tab. So under the annotation, the mostly used tools here is the text and then the dimension. This text, it enables you to create a text like just for documentation purpose for your project. And then under the text, there's two methods of drawing that text. There's a multi-line text and then there's a single line text. So the multi-line text, it enables you to edit the text according to the way you want it to appear in terms of the font, in terms of its, even there's some symbol you can put and some other parameters you can incorporate with your text. Let's start with the multi-line, how it works, and then we go to the single line, how it works. So multi-line, then you specify the first corner, you give it the direction, and then from here, this menu will pop up. So this menu, you can either give the text height, the text size maybe of 250 millimeter. Sorry, let's go back to multi-line like this. And then maybe you can just type, maybe say my name is Francis, I will type. And then the text height, I will select my text, I'll give it to 50, enter, then click outside like this. You see? So you can edit it if you don't want it to appear in this font. You can select, and then you go to another font. You see, according to your preference. Maybe say you wanted this font like this, and then once you are done, maybe you want to put a symbol on it. Maybe this degree symbol. You can also put. You see, it has a degree symbol, and then there's also another symbol you can put according to your preference. And then some settings you can actually change. Maybe if you want it to be italic and then maybe bold. This can only be possible when you're using the multi-line text. But for example, let's use the single line, how it works. Now it is telling you, specify start point. This is the start point, and then specify the height. The height we have used here is 250 millimeter. Then enter. Now it specify the rotational angle. So you can give it either this way or maybe horizontally. Let me say horizontal like this. So maybe I can, let's enter my name, Francis, like that. You see now? So this is a single line text. Even though you try to edit it, it cannot enable you to edit it like this way. So I prefer you to use the multi-line text at most. And then this one for dimension here, this dimension tool. So this one, it enables you to create a dimension. So before we start creating dimension, there are some other methods of creating that dimension. Number one is the linear dimension, and then there's a line. But for today, we are going to focus on the linear dimension, like this. And then click on the start point, second point, and then enter. As you can see, the text is very small. So it is just the dimension scale and then the text size. So that one, if you want to increase it, you go to annotate, and then you go to the dimension style, manage dimension styles, modifying. You can come to text, and then text height is 2.5, or you can come to fit and then increase the scale. Maybe let's use a scale of maybe 15, and then okay, close. So this is a scale of 15. Maybe you can reduce the scale, maybe a scale of 5 or 6, depends on the size of the project. Now this is dimension. Let's go back to the home. Now there's another concept. Like now we are going to keeping things organized. So in keeping things organized, there's a fundamental concept in AutoCAD called layers. So this layer, it enables you to organize your elements so that you can be able to control their visibility in terms of their colors, their line weight, and some other parameters. So maybe somebody may ask you, what are these layers specifically? So layers are simply is just like it is actually it's a system that enables you to manage the visibility of your elements independently in terms of their line weight, in terms of their colors, and some other parameters. So this is simply how you can describe layers. So for us to move into that part, you go to this layers properties. So you select on it, and then for your case, yours will be very small. This window will be just very small like this. You can just use this arrow here to expand that windows of view. And then this one also, you can, for your case, it will be just very small, and then you can just expand them like this, like that. So now we have been using this zero layer, which is the default layer that is coming with AutoCAD. So for example, now we have been using this zero layer. For you to know which layer is active, you just see it here. This is a zero layer which is active now. So now, for example, let's change its color. So you go to color option, and then maybe you wanted the green color, and then you click OK. You see now it has changed to green color. So this is some of the things that layers can do. So now this is in terms of the color. In terms of the line weight, you can come. So this by default it is set to default line weight. So you can change it maybe to 0.40 to make it thick. You see now it has changed because this option here is thick. For your case, if it is off like this line weight, if it is off, it is not going to show the true line weight. But if it is on, it's going to reveal the true line weight. So for this case, let's just use a thin line weight, maybe 0.13, like that. So maybe let's create a new layer. For example, you come to this first icon here, new layer. Let's call it maybe the drafting layer, like that. Let's call it drafting, and then another layer, let's call it center line, just for example, and then another one, text, like that. So now assume that you have already drawn all of your elements in the same layer, but still you can be able to move them into those other layers that we have just created right now. So the text layer, you can give it a different color. Let's make it red, and then the center line we make it somewhere like this light blue, and then the drafting you can choose this magenta, like that, and then we can make the Now you can go to this place here. You make the drafting as the current layer. So now this one, select this one to be under the drafting. You can move this one to the drafting layer like that, and then press escape, and then this one you can just move it to the center line. But now it is not going to show the center line because you have not yet assigned that specific line type. And then for the text, select this one and then move to text like that. Now go back again to the layers properties. For your case, maybe you can just come here like this, and then the line type for the center line is now continuous. You change it. You come here, you load, and then you go to this center. Yeah, center, and then okay. You select center and then okay again like that. See, you see now it is now showing. In any case, if it is not showing, it is because it's of the scale. So you select the line you want to increase its scale. You press Ctrl+1 on your keyboard, and then you maybe enlarge this menu here a little bit, and then you play with this scale. Now the line type scale, maybe you can play with it maybe to 5, and then enter. You see now 5 is big. Maybe let's bring it to 2, like that. You see? So this is how scale works. You wanted to save your drawing, huh? For example, you want to save your drawing, you again go to the application. Let me cancel this one. You go to application menu, and then what? Save. Go to the save option, and then you choose the location, maybe the desktop, maybe in your local dish, or maybe you leave it in the desktop, and then you give it a name. Let me say, for mine, I will call it as a comprehensive guide, like that, on AutoCAD, like that, and then you save it. You see now, if I go to my desktop, I will find it here. You see, comprehensive guide for AutoCAD. So, for example, you want to convert your AutoCAD file into a PDF, you move from the model space to the paper space. So, you activate this one. So, this is what you have been doing. So, the first thing always is the paper size. So, the paper size, you go to the layout and then right click. You go to page setup manager, and then you go to modify. From here, the printer or the plotter, you choose DWG to PDF, and then the paper size is now A4. That is the landscape, 210 by 297. I recommend you to use the A4 full blade. You scroll upwards, scroll A4 full blade. ISO full blade A4. This is the portrait, 210 by 297. But let's go with the landscape, like that, 297 by 210. It should be full blade of that paper. This is what I recommended. And then the scale, you leave it as it is, 1:1. And then, for example, now this one is showing the colors that you have been using. Instead, if you wanted to convert them to black and white, you change the plot style to monochrome. And then you make this option, you tick this box here to display the plot styles. And then from here, you click OK, and then you close. You see now, it is now black and white. Now, this is the viewport. It controls the visibility of what you have drawn in the paper space. This is the use of the viewport. This one here is called the viewport. So you can just move it maybe in the center. You can turn off the orthogonal mode and then give it a good good location. And then here you can also play with the scale, but since this is not a precise drawing, we are just going to leave it like this. But what you have to make sure that this viewport, this should be on the depth point layer. Now it is on the drafting layer. Now let me show you one thing. Let me show you one thing. You see this this option here for the plot. Let me enlarge this one here. This for the plot. For example, now if it is like this, if it is not having any mark beneath it, it is going to appear when you convert this drawing file into a PDF. But if it has a mark like this, a red mark, it is not going to appear. But instead of using this layer, there's a well assigned layer which is supposed to be used for viewport, which is not going to appear on the PDF file. So even you can see here by default, it will not allow you to edit it, either to make it on or off on the PDF file. So this is the layer that is recommended by Autodesk for us to use for the viewport. So you select, just cancel this one. You select the viewport and then you move it from the drafting layer to a dev point like this. You see? So from here, you go to right click on the layout, and then you go to plot. From here, you go to preview. So this is what you are going to get at the end of the day when you convert this drawing file to a PDF. So from here, once you are comfortable with the preview, then okay. Then you give it you choose you just allocation like what you have done when you are saving that drawing file of yours, and then you give it maybe in the desktop, and then so you give it a name. If you are comfortable with this name, well and good. If you are not comfortable, you can change it from here, and then you save it like that. You see, and then you go to that location of yours. You go to desktop. By default, it is going to open on your default PDF reader. For me, I'm using the Adobe Acrobat. Maybe for your case, you will be using the Microsoft Edge. It's just the same PDF reader. So this is what you're getting at the end of the day. So if you like my content, I recommend you to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So in case if you have any question, you can feel free to drop them in the comment section. So now you have completed this introduction to AutoCAD. But remember, practice is key to mastering this valuable software. So you can explore the various tools and experiments that I've explained here to draw whatever you wanted to draw. If you want to draw a floor plan, maybe an isometric drawing, maybe an orthographic drawing, any project that requires only two-dimensional work, AutoCAD is a preferred industry standard software that can be used to solve those kinds of drawing. So please don't forget to subscribe, share this video with your friends so that they can also enjoy.